and welcome back to my channel. So for today's makeup tutorial I did this little number for you all. This is just a high glam lashes the lot. We went full galore today. Popping on the highlight, had to make sure I had heaps of highlighter on. You know how it is. Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoy. I've done a little voiceover for this one. I hope you guys don't mind. But stick around if you'd like to see how I created this look and what products I use, and we will jump right into it. Alright, so we're just starting out with the Anastasia Dipbrow Pomade in Blonde. I'm just carving out the natural shape of my brows, concentrating majority of that colour from the middle to the tail of the brow. Then when we move up to the front, I'm just lightly pushing the product up because we really want a nice natural fade to the brow. Next, we're just taking our spoolie and just brushing through the brow. So what I like to do is to brush up through the front so we can get that really nice fade of colour, and then brushing backwards through the rest of the brow to ensure it's all nice and even. Now just taking our Nars Radiant Concealer in Chantilly, I'm just going to go through on a flat definer brush and just carve out those brows. I really want a nice sharp brow, and I find that this technique just helps ensure precision. And next up, just taking that same concealer all over the eyelids, excuse my little dance and sing, and just blending the rest of that in with a damp beauty blender as our base. Next, I'm just going to take the Australis Fresh and Flawless in light beige and set the eyes to ensure that our eyeshadows blend nice and evenly all over the lid. Now, I just forgot that I didn't set my brow, so I'm just taking the Gimme Brow. I'm not sure what shade this is in, but I'm just going to set those brows in place. Now, just taking the first shade Shy in the Huda Beauty palette, I'm just going to use a big fluffy brush and blend this all through my crease. This is going to be our transition shade. I thought for today's look we'd do a nice pink eye, and I think this shade is beautiful. And next up, we're going to take Maneater. This is just a slightly deeper pinker shade, and I'm going to use a bit more of a defined brush just to place this in the crease in a more controlled environment than the first shade. Then once that's done and I've had my little dance, I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush and blend that all back together, just using the same brush from earlier, just ensuring that everything is nice and seamless. And then just taking a clean brush, another fluffy brush, just blending out those very edges. Now I'm just going to take the shade Bossy in the Huda Beauty palette and just using a more precise brush and placing this on the outer third of my eye in the crease ever so slightly, just so we can get some more definition. Now just taking that same big fluffy brush and blending everything together. Blending is the most important part of doing an eye look, so you do want to make sure that all your colours are nice and seamless. Now just taking another clean brush and doing a little dance. You know, the Spice Girls Wannabe song came on and I just couldn't help myself. But just taking a clean fluffy brush and blending out those edges. We don't want any indentation lines. Then, as well as dancing, I just took another bigger fluffier brush and blended out those edges once again. And now that we are all blended, we'll move on to the next step. So I am just using the same concealer and carving out a half cut crease. I find when I'm doing a high glam with pigments, I like to do this step first. Just ensures a really nice crisp application and the pigments look gorge. Then I just use my finger and blend out those edges. Now just spraying my brush with Fix Plus, and I took a mixture of these two pigments together and just packing that all over where we placed that concealer. This colour was so beautiful. You know, I wanted a nice pink champagne, and I thought, why not mix my two favourite MAC and Inglot pigments together, and I was so shook. This looked amazing. Now just taking a little bit more of Bossy onto a blending brush again and just placing this on the very edges to ensure the pigment and the eyeshadows blend really nice together. This is just an easy step to make sure everything is nice and seamless. Now just taking on the light pink shade Shy and just running this through the crease again with a precision brush to ensure we have a nice line for the cut crease. Now I just take my Mercier Radiance primer and just massage this into my face to prime for our base. Now taking a new favourite, the Makeup Forever Ultra HD foundation, just packing this on with a concealer brush all over my face. I only just recently got this foundation and I'm loving it already. Now I just take on that same concealer brush and carve out the top of my brows just so I can keep them nice and sharp. Now just taking a damp beauty blender, I'm just going to blend that all together, just dabbing away, making sure everything is nice and seamless, and also ensuring we blend into our ears and our necks. Now just taking the Nars Radiant Concealer and concealing under my eyes, giving a bit of highlight. Then I'm going to put some down the center of my face as well. I am pale, but I still like to do this step to give me a little bit of highlight. Then taking our damp beauty blender once again and blending that all in, girlfriend. See, it just gives it a nice, soft, highlighted glow, and that's what I love. Now taking the Mercier translucent powder, I'm just going to bake under my eyes. I love baking with translucent powder. I find it gives me that really nice highlighted effect, especially when I have a fake tan and I'm using a lighter concealer under my eyes. It also prevents creasing, which I find a lot of concealers can crease under the eyes quite easily. Now just taking that Australis face powder in light beige on a big powder brush and powdering the rest of my face, or I should say setting the rest of my face. Now just using a small brush and just wiping away that bakage, because girl, that has been on for a few minutes now. So now I'm just taking that first shade Shy on a fluffy brush and smoking out underneath my eye. I love this step. Now just taking a bit of Bossy and placing this in the outer corner to add a bit more definition. Now I'm just going to pop on some mascara, the Maybelline Mega Plush, and prep for some lashes. So here I have the Huda Beauty Co. lashes. Love these. I'll be back in 2 seconds to do these off camera. Lashes are on, and I also lined my waterline with a MAC black liner to make those eyes pop. Now taking my Ciate bronzer in South Beach on a big fluffy brush, I am just going to bronze up and warm up the rest of my face. I like to do this step now. I wasn't a big bronzer, but since I got this one, I have been loving it. Now taking my Holy Grail Hoola by Benefit, just on a precise brush, I am just going to contour and chisel those cheeks. Just going to contour a little bit down the sides of my nose and the edge of my nose as well. And I'm just going to, once again, take some more translucent powder and bake under my contour. Taking the Rockateur blush, just placing that on the apples of my cheeks and swiping backwards. Now we're just brushing that bake away. And it's highlight time with the amazing Merry Loumanizer by TheBalm. Cannot live without this highlighter. It is just so pigmented and so glowing, and it's just so good. So I'm just going to place this on the highest points of my cheeks and blend up into the brow a bit. Now placing down the bridge of my nose and on my cupid's bow to give that nice glow. I also went ahead and used that same highlighter to highlight just under the brow bone, so we get that real nice pop and our brows forever look carved and glowing to the gods. Now just taking Jefree Starr in Mannequin. I love this lipstick. It is so good, so pigmented. I don't find it crackles on my lips, which I find with a lot of liquid lipsticks. I have quite dry lips and it does crackle. And this colour is just so pretty for my pale skin. I do like celebrity skin as well, but I've just been finding Mannequin has a bit more pink tones to it and just matches to my paler skin tone much better. Now just taking that pigment, I did that same pigment mixture I should say, and just putting a bit in my inner corner just to give that real pop. I was looking at my eye makeup and just thought I needed a little bit more of a pop because you can never have too much sparkle. Now just taking the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray and setting that all in place. Woo! So this is the finished look. I was super happy with it, so I did a few poses for you guys, but hope you all enjoy and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!